Well, hello there, my friend. Settle into your favorite chair for a moment, and let's have a real heart-to-heart. You know, after 65, life starts to feel like a cozy sweater, comfortable, familiar, full of stories. But sometimes, that sweater can get a little itchy, especially when family gathers round. Ever walked away from a conversation with your grown kids or grandkids feeling drained? Like you shared a little too much, and now there's a tiny storm brewing where there used to be calm? You're not alone. Today, we're talking about something delicate but so important, the secrets that, when kept gently to yourself, can wrap your golden years in peace. Not secrets of deception, mind you. These are truths that, when shared, often stir up worry, conflict, or unsolicited advice. Over the next little while, I'll share 5 of these with you, simple, loving boundaries to protect your tranquility. Let's start with the first 2, shall we? First up, your exact financial details. Now, I know this feels counterintuitive. We're taught families should share everything. But picture this, your son notices you've been saving more than usual and asks, "Everything okay, Dad? You worried about medical bills?" If you mention that nest egg you've tucked away for emergencies, suddenly, well-meaning opinions flood in. You should invest it, or why not help Tim with his mortgage? Before you know it, your careful plans feel like a committee decision. Money talks shift family dynamics, my friend. It can spark guilt, envy, or even dependence. Martha, a lovely 72-year-old from Cincinnati, once told me she mentioned her comfortable savings to her daughter. Next week, her son-in-law joked about needing a loan for a new car. Awkward, right? Instead, try this. Keep your finances like a favorite recipe, share the delicious outcome. We're doing just fine, but not every ingredient. If they press, smile and say, "Oh, I've got a good advisor handling the boring stuff. Tell me about your garden." Redirect with love. Your peace is worth it. Now, let's talk about the second secret, every ache, pain, or minor health hiccup. Of course, if you're facing something serious, lean on your loved ones. But the everyday twinges? Those are yours to manage. Imagine mentioning your stiff knee to your granddaughter. Suddenly, she's researching surgeons, your son's calling twice a day just to check, and your daughter-in-law sends 5 articles titled Arthritis Doom. It's overwhelming, isn't it? And it steals your joy. My neighbor, Frank, learned this the hard way. He casually complained about heartburn at a family barbecue. Next thing he knew, his kids insisted on weekly doctor visits, even when he felt fine. He told me, "I went from feeling capable to feeling like a patient overnight." Here's a kinder approach. Save health chats for your doctor or close confidants outside the family. When your grandson asks how you're feeling, try, "I'm savoring every sunrise, dear." Now, how's your new job? Protect their peace and yours by focusing on life, not symptoms. You've earned that lightness. These first 2 secrets aren't about shutting people out, they're about nurturing relationships without inviting unnecessary worry. Boundaries, my friend, are like garden fences. They don't keep love out, they let trust bloom safely. And speaking of blooming, there's another quiet truth we should explore next, one that involves stories from your past that might be best left untold. You know, our past is like an old photo album, filled with smiles, shadows, and stories that shaped us. But not every page needs to be shown, especially to those who love us most. That brings us to our third secret, your unresolved regrets or old family conflicts. Now, I can almost hear you thinking, but shouldn't we be honest with our children? Of course, honesty matters. But there's a difference between sharing wisdom and reopening wounds that no longer serve anyone. Take Eleanor, a spirited 78-year-old from Savannah. One quiet evening, her granddaughter asked about her long-lost brother. Eleanor confessed, voice trembling, "I never forgave him for leaving when Mama was sick." Her granddaughter, meaning well, tracked down the brother online. What followed was a flood of decades-old hurt, confusion for the younger generation, and Eleanor lying awake replaying arguments she'd buried years ago. "I thought sharing would free me," she told me later. Instead, it gave my family a burden I'd carried alone for 40 years. Here's the gentle truth: some chapters are yours alone. Unpacking them with family, especially adult children who weren't there, can leave them feeling responsible for pain they can't fix. It shifts their view of you, too. Instead of seeing the strong, resilient person you are today, they might start seeing only the hurt. So what can you share? The lessons. Family taught me forgiveness takes time, or I learned to cherish the moments we have. Leave the raw details where they belong, in your journal, with a trusted friend, or in the quiet understanding between you and your own heart. Preserve their peace, and yours. Now, let's move to our fourth secret, one that's especially delicate in today's world: your strong political or controversial opinions. Oh, I know how passionate we get. We've lived through history, seen policies change, and our convictions run deep. But family gatherings? They're meant for connection, not conversion. Picture George, a sharp 82-year-old veteran. He loved debating current events until his grandson's wedding. A casual mention of taxes turned into a heated argument with his niece. Suddenly, my nephew wouldn't look me in the eye, George sighed. All over a disagreement about something neither of us could change that day. The tension lingered for months. Family dinners felt like walking through a minefield. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about choosing harmony over being right. Your grandchildren adore you. They don't need to agree with your views to love you. When topics veer into stormy waters, try this: you know, I've learned the world looks different through every generation's eyes. Tell me what you hope for instead. Or simply smile and say, let's save the world solving for another day. Pass the pie. Redirect with grace. Protect those precious moments around the table. What matters isn't winning an argument, it's keeping the door open for Sunday phone calls and hugs at the front door. These secrets, whether it's old regrets or strong opinions, aren't walls. They're windows you open just enough to let in sunlight, but not the storm. They honor both your history and the family you cherish today. And speaking of cherishing, there's one final secret we need to gently explore together, one that might surprise you the most. And here we are, my friend, at the final secret, the one that might feel the most tender to touch. It's about your deepest fears about aging, decline, or dying. Now, I know that sounds heavy. But stay with me. This isn't about hiding your truth, it's about protecting your family's heart and your own dignity. We've all had those quiet moments, haven't we? Staring out the window, wondering what the future holds. Maybe you've thought, will I lose my independence? Or what if I become a burden? It's natural. But sharing these raw fears with adult children or grandchildren often backfires, not because they don't care, but because they care too much. Take Rosemary, a vibrant 80-year-old from Portland. One evening, she tearfully told her daughter, "I'm terrified of ending up in a nursing home." Her daughter, consumed by guilt, immediately started researching in-home care, despite Rosemary being fully capable. Every phone call became an interrogation, Rosemary shared. "Did you take your walk today? Can you still balance on one foot?" Suddenly, she saw me as fragile. I lost my sense of agency in her eyes. Here's the gentle wisdom: your fears are valid, but they're yours to manage with grace. Confiding them to family often plants seeds of anxiety in their minds long before anything happens. They start seeing you through the lens of your worries, not your strength. Instead, share these feelings with a trusted friend your own age, a therapist, or a support group, people who understand without needing to fix you. When family asks how you're really doing, try, "I'm focusing on today, and today is beautiful. Did I tell you I planted new roses?" Let them see your resilience, not your shadows. Bringing it all together. So, let's pause and breathe. These 5 secrets. Your exact finances. Every minor health hiccup. Old regrets and family conflicts. Strong controversial opinions. Your deepest fears about aging. They aren't walls. They're gentle hands cupped around a candle flame, protecting its light from gusts that mean no harm but could blow it out. They're about curating what you share, not closing your heart. Because love thrives best in peace. Think of it like this: when you keep certain things tenderly to yourself, you give your family a priceless gift, the gift of seeing you as you are, not as a project, a patient, or a problem to solve. You free them to simply enjoy you, your stories, your laughter, the way your eyes crinkle when you talk about your first love. And you free yourself from the exhaustion of managing their reactions. A quiet truth about boundaries. You've spent a lifetime caring for others, my friend. Now, in these golden years, protecting your peace is an act of love, for them and for yourself. It's not selfishness. It's wisdom. It's the kind of quiet strength that built families, weathered storms, and taught generations how to endure. So when you leave a conversation feeling light instead of drained, when you watch your grandchildren laugh without a cloud of worry in their eyes, that's the peace these boundaries create. That's the space where joy grows. Your turn, my friend. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever kept one of these quiet truths to yourself and felt the relief wash over you? Or maybe you've discovered another gentle boundary that protects your peace. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your wisdom might be exactly what another soul needs to hear today. If this resonated with you, do me a kindness. Tap that like button. It tells me these words found their way to the right hearts. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to the channel. We're a community here, learning to navigate these years with grace, humor, and a whole lot of heart. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. Remember, your life is a story still being written. Make it a peaceful one. You've earned every quiet, joyful moment. Here's to your tranquility, your strength, and the beautiful, unspoken spaces where love grows deepest. Until next time, be gentle with yourself.